After we went like 20 dry, when Ozil should have smashed his assist record.
That little fucking scumbag.
Ludicrous.
But oh God, Spurs fan. I was going to say we rattled Tottenham fans, Chelsea fans. We've rattled Spurs fans there.
And I like my list.
He has single-handedly.
My rationale with my list is sometimes just vibes.
3 times Premier League winner.
We've got to respect it.
With Arsenal. That's hard.
No, don't disrespect us like that. No.
That's hard, man.
That's
I
hard.
feel like it's a challenge. You're dragging this shit
Not like,
team to the title.
that's hard to do because they're fucking shite.
I would have slapped you if you put me in this list. Bruh, that would have been disgraceful.
What? Explain to the people, the fine people, the 200 plus people that we now have watching this fantastic podcast.
Yeah.
Top goal scorer for what? I think the general footballing populace think is the biggest club in the world.
Yeah.
So to be the top goal scorer for the biggest club in the world,
And he's 6th in my
and
list.
6th in Luke's list.
He's mentioned. Hello guys, welcome back to BoreDraw, and today, I know it's looking a little bit different. It's we're going to be doing our top 10 Premier League strikers of all time, and we have a special guest.
I was going to say, imagine not bringing up the guest before you talk about what we're doing. Look at this!
That's okay.
Joining
I'm
us
happy to be
today in our amongst the ghetto setup we have. You won't even believe the effort that's gone into this. Nothing has worked, but we've managed to find a way to work around. And we've got Mr. Tom Hooper here to bless us once again with his ball knowledge. And I believe this is his hat trick of appearances on the podcast.
My third time.
Come on.
I'm yet to win the 2 competitions I've taken part in, so I'm going to win this debate. That's all I'm going to say today.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's not what he's been saying before.
So,
But,
yeah, Luke said what we're going to do. We're going to do a top 10 Prem strikers ever. We're all 97 babies. So, we're not going to do like, I don't know, bloody yonks ago, like Andy Cole, who we know is a good player, or bloody Cantona, who is good, probably a little bit, maybe
Some
just on the
players
verge
just
of our
before
time.
our time, but we have attachments to players that we saw growing up and maybe a bit of recency bias. So don't hate
Yeah.
on us too
So
hard.
don't
This is
cry if one of your dons isn't in here and you're like 57 years old.
It is what it is.
It
But
is what it
we
is.
we tried to sort of have a not too much recency bias, but yeah, should we kick it off with number 10 guest, Mr. Tom Hooper? Do you want to kick us off?
I will indeed. I mentioned before the camera started that there was one player that I didn't think would make my list, but he somehow crept in at number 10, and that is Mr. Didier Drogba.
Big dids.
Big Dids, the big game
I
player
saw-
himself.
Today, Jose Mourinho did a little post about him actually.
Did
I
he?
saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
We're like 15 years since he like joined Chelsea or something. I don't know.
See, Didier Drogba for me is like the iconic Chelsea striker, probably their last good striker. Maybe you could argue
Diego
like Diego Costa.
Diego
Yeah,
Costa.
but
Diego
I
Costa.
agree. Like when, yeah, actually no, I was gonna slaughter them, but was Diego Costa there when Fernando Torres was there when they won the first Champions League? So was Drogba.
Don't think
Sec-
Costa was there.
Second Champions League, he wasn't there either. Did he win a Prem? He won a Prem under Conte.
He
But
won
we're not
one
talking about
Prem.
You know
Diego
the
Costa.
you know the Chelsea shirt with the Samsung sponsor.
Yeah.
That's iconic. Drogba. So
I can't tell you the kits, but yeah.
but yeah,
iconic Paul Pogba. So I've got Drogba ninth.
That's fine. You can bring it
Yeah.
up. You can bring
So
it up.
I think he always gets put in this debate with him, Thierry, Sergio Aguero.
Ludicrous.
I've got him 8th.
Okay, so we can all agree that he is good. He's the top 10 Prem ever. Well done for making it into the debate. But he's not. We're talking top 5 is upper echelon.
Yeah.
He's not in that conversation.
For me, there were 4 certies. No thinking, no debate.
yeah. And then, like we said, we didn't include Andy Cole. You can talk about older players. Drogba, I don't think for me ever gets near top 5 Prem ever.
No. Chelsea fans try to force it.
It's
and
Chelsea fans, yeah.
It's not right.
So, who have you got in 10th place?
My 10th place pick is a little bit of a shoehorn pick. He probably doesn't deserve to be in the top 10, but I had to get someone in there who represented my club at some point. I've gone for Les Ferdinand, who I think is like an outsider shout for a top 10, but probably isn't really a top 10 pick.
Yeah, I
However,
agree.
He was a goal scoring machine back in his day, and he's sort of iconic in like the QPR kit or
Yeah,
that Newcastle.
rattle me off some of the clubs that he played for.
Newcastle, QPR, went on Besiktas on
Did he
loan.
play for Leeds?
He played for Watford and made 0 appearances.
Oh.
2005,
Oh, that's
2006.
like when Ryo Miyachi went there on loan and then.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Les Ferdinand, he was like a powerhouse striker, but with just pure elegance as well. He was sort of a new breed of striker who could do it all. Whereas, you know, you had strikers of a generation who were out and out goal scorers.
Yeah.
Les Ferdinand had a bit of everything. And we've seen recently, especially with players like, I don't know, Harry Kane, Roberto Firmino, sort of those playmaking strikers. And Ferdinand had a bit of that about him.
Paved the way.
Yeah, exactly. So
I like that.
Maybe a man born before his time.
Oh.
Can I ask you, have you ever seen a single minute of Les Ferdinand play football?
I can't say I'm blessed with much Les Ferdinand knowledge, but him at Newcastle, he played with Alan Shearer, I believe.
Oh, did he?
And so that's where I know of Les Ferdinand.
Yeah,
So-
he was in my mind as the...
I knew he played for
He was
QPR.
before my time to consider...
I knew he
those
played for
players.
QPR,
For me,
but I didn't.
He took QPR to a 5th place finish in the Premier League, which is pretty crazy looking at where we are now.
That is very
There was like a whole thing about him receiving racist abuse when they played against Everton, and then he went to Goodison Park and banged a hat-trick against them, which is a pretty cool story. But yeah, for me, I had to get a QPR player in there somehow.
You got to do it.
It was him, it was Charlie Austin, or it was Loic Remy.
Loic Remy!
So yeah, Les Ferdinand is my number 10.
Do you want to hear
That's
my
just
number
me.
10?
Who's number
I
10?
feel like he's going to be higher in both of yours, but he's 10th place for me. Robin Van Persie.
He is higher on mine. Okay.
I think he is good. I think
Still good.
he's a scumbag. But I think my issue with him is that he was good, but not for a long enough period of time. He was probably good for a season and a half at Arsenal, and then a season and a half at Man United. And that by that logic, some of the people that I've got higher in my list, you could be like, oh, there's the same case with them. But I think Robin Van Persie, he was good at a time where the league wasn't blessed with that many good strikers. So he looked really good.
I've got Robin van Persie as my number 9 in my list.
Very nice.
It's a nice little segue into number 9s. But for me, Robin van Persie was sort of an iconic striker in the sense, like you say, he was sort of the only one at that time doing the way he did it, and that's why Man United went big and went and snatched him away from Arsenal. But I was sort of reading through, looking at some of the striker statistics. 280 appearances, which is more than I thought he actually made.
Yeah.
144 goals and 53 assists, which is,
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's like
Goal every other game.
yeah, as a goal.
Or
every
if you're any Aluko, it's a goal every game.
it's basically a goal in the game. But yeah, no, him, the Flying Dutchman, the iconic header in the World
He has
Cup.
a couple of pingers off the left volley. Yeah.
He was
Rooney cross to him like 50 yards.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
of the most iconic goals ever.
I mean, at the time, it was sort of towards the end of Ferguson's reign as United boss. And
It's like, yeah.
they wanted to win the league, and they went out and bought the striker that would win them the league.
I'm trying to think of, at that time, who would be another good striker in the league. I can't really think of many that were knocking him out.
I think he was the
what's
best
that
by a
like?
country mile.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think it's very much at a time where the league probably didn't have many proper bagsmen. He was the best.
Yeah.
Was Diego Costa in the league at that point?
No,
Maybe.
I don't think so.
No.
I think maybe this might be like Torres time. Early Torres.
Yeah, maybe that's a shout.
Something like
So, yeah, I don't know. I think he's good, but we'll get on to some Donnies later that would fucking sweep him under the rug.
He was very much a finisher. His game wasn't too much in terms of like technical work around the box. It wasn't about creating space. It was, I am the final product.
Yeah.
And I will finish.
Who have you got number 9, Tom?
I went for Van Nistelrooy.
Woo! Talk to me about
To be honest, he's
Ruben
someone I
Nistelrooy.
can't really remember too much. I know I grew up watching him, but I can't
Yeah, I just
remember
remember
many
him
highlights. But
causing Arsenal lots of
I
problems.
just
all the
remember the reputation of the man just being like the most clinical goal scorer
When I
going.
think of Van Nistelrooy, I think when he missed the penalty and Keown goes up to him in the box.
time. Yeah, and
Yeah.
screams in his face. Yeah,
that's all I can remember. But he was like the epitome of like a poacher.
Yeah.
He was on that 6-yard line, and he'd be there every time.
Oh, we're talking about efficiency. I don't know how many appearances this is in, but I think it's about 120 appearances, 94 goals, 14 appearances. So we're talking about one in
14
every
assists.
2. Yeah, one every 2 for who are we talking about?
Robin
Van
van
Persie. This is probably like one in every game and a half, which is
Yeah, it's
even
incredible
better.
numbers, and
Yeah,
he was there sort of like one of the peaks of Man United's dominance. wasn't
which
it?
obviously probably skews the numbers slightly.
Yeah,
But he was, like you said, there's a lot of players that he was like Dimitar Berbatov before Dimitar Berbatov.
yeah, arguably, yeah. I
Just
see.
like
yeah.
techie finisher, kind of waltzed around the pitch.
Yeah,
Good player. He's in mine, but higher up.
Is it? Okay.
And then in my ninth place, I've got Didier Drogba.
Yeah,
also
yeah,
known
you
as
said.
Paul Pogba.
yeah. Didier Drogba, we spoke about him already. He's actually my number 8, so I can segue on to the 8th very quickly. There.
So we got Didier in 10th, 9th, 8th.
8th.
Very
For
nice.
me, he was
Chelsea fans are fuming.
He was just an unbelievable tank of a player, and there's the whole thing of stereotyping sort of African players is like strong and powerful, but he really was, and he was an outrageous finisher. He was cold blooded. He's a 4 times Premier League winner, 2 times Golden Boot, which is incredible.
2-time Golden Boot.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
2006 and 7 and 2009-10. So
6-7. Yeah.
I think he only get above like 20 like once though. So I don't think he was in a period where they were like that clinical.
Yeah, that must have been in the period where we were talking about like the league kind of lost all its good strikers.
Yeah.
Like Alan Shearer left or like retired. Thierry Henry left for Barca.
This is
Van Nistelrooy
probably
done.
the golden age of Chelsea as well.
Yeah.
Like Mourinho loved him. He was an outstanding. He was phenomenal, and he's so iconic to me as like Chelsea's talismanic striker.
Yeah.
And is there a player who like defenders would? I don't know about my list anyway or your list, but on my list, I think he would be the one that most defenders would be like, yeah, I'll take the day
Apart
off.
from number 1, I agree.
He was
a long day.
phenomenal on the ground. He had it all. He had pace, power. He had technical ability,
Tech, yeah.
and he was phenomenal in the air.
Yeah, in the
He
air,
could
mate.
get on the
He
end of
gets
everything.
sweet
Like,
on
how
it.
do you defend against someone who has almost no weaknesses in his game?
Yeah, I think, he was... I'd like to have seen him in a team that didn't play, like, stank ball, because Chelsea, at that period, was very much, let's just not concede any, and we'll win games 1-0, part the bus ball. And maybe that contributed to the fact that he never, like, really broke 20 that often. But he might have... That's maybe his style of playing why he thrives so much, that target man football is his kind of play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Dids.
I think the problem is with these sort of like the at least the sort of the bottom half of your lists, you're always going to have like the same players mixed about there. It's the players that we all love to watch play football and who have shouts to be in the top sort of 5, but didn't really reach the peaks.
So you've done 10-9-8.
We've done 10-9-8. We're on number
Have you
8.
done 10-9-8?
I haven't done my 8 yet.
Hit me with your 8.
And I think you're both going to have him far higher up in the list.
Okay.
But I've gone Harry Kane.
Blood clot Spurs fan. I was say we're rattled Tottenham fans, Chelsea fans, but we've rattled Spurs fans there.
And I like my list.
He has single-handedly.
My rationale with my list is sometimes it's just 5, sometimes it's longevity, sometimes it's peak, whatever. But Harry Kane, he's not higher up just because he ain't won shit.
Yeah, it's interesting to see kind of where people put merit in trophies. Like some people that aren't like all Spurs fans think he's the greatest striker ever, and that's fair enough. He's your guy. But like a general football fan, it's interesting to see the general football fans that value trophies and the general football fans
there was a whole
that value
debate,
numbers.
like who's had the better career, Olivier Giroud or Harry Kane?
Giroud, no doubt about it, every single time. My guy's won the World Cup. Are you crazy?
Yeah. He's won the World Cup.
He's won the Prem. He's won Champions League, Europa League.
Yeah, he's done it all.
Just win Serie A recently.
Yeah.
So like
Scudetto,
That's not even like I know Harry Kane's much better, but you should pick someone who hasn't won international tournaments.
I'm going to say Giroud's going to go home and see his World Cup winners medal, his Champions League winners medal.
And Giroud's more handsome, so it's like...
That always helps.
So, but yeah, no, 100%. For me...
But if you were talking about just like pure ability, who would you rather have in your team at their peak?
What, Harry or Giroud? Yeah,
Harry,
and it's no competition. So, like you say, it all comes down to the merit and how much sort of emphasis you put on trophies.
Well, that's why Giroud isn't in any of our top 10s, I assume.
Yeah, 100%.
So I went like 20 dry when when Ozil should have smashed
that
his assist record.
That little fucking scumbag should have
He
won
was
us
my
the Prem,
favourite player for about 6 years. Then he did that, and It's a hard love now.
No,
but
that's
for me,
interesting.
I think me and Roz both have Harry Kane
Higher.
a little bit higher up on our list.
I
I
think
think-
about fourth. I'm gonna guess.
You'll
You
find
don't
out.
have to tell me, but I'm
But
just
I
putting it out
think-
there.
I totally agree with your point that trophies make the man. But there are some men. He could never be top 1 for me. There are some men that can get in the top 5, top 3 conversation off of just how good they are. He is putting up crazy numbers for a shite team.
Crazy numbers.
And-
incredible. And not just like he's not just a goal scorer. He is the most complete forward in football.
Yeah.
You have Erling Haaland, who's gonna bang 40 goals in the Premier League basically every season until he leaves.
Yeah.
But
We
he
said this on the pod.
He couldn't dream of doing what Harry Kane does.
How many? I think Haaland got how many goals in the Prem? 45? 47?
Oh, in the
The
Prem.
Prem,
in
like
the Prem.
Or overall.
36.
No,
Oh.
38 I think, or 39.
Okay, so if you put Harry Kane in that City team, how many goals do you reckon he got last season?
Harry Kane got
31
31.
for Spurs.
So yeah,
How many do you think he would
he's
have
probably
got
City?
36, 37.
See, I don't think he could have.
But he'd
but
get rotated
I think
more,
play
both.
style he would have got rotated. I think he would have got 30. I think he would have got 30 plus goals, possibly 20 plus assists.
That's good.
No, I think
Yeah, that's
I think
not
his
bad.
assists would have seen a massive rise because this year his assist sort of numbers fell off because no one on his team was doing anything.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about Harry Kane a bit more later. My 8th place, Dennis Bergkamp, the Iceman. I think, obviously, is he like a proper striker? I don't know. He's probably like a centre forward or like an OG kind of number 8-ish, bit more further forward.
He's a weird dynamic of a player.
But
isn't he?
he's like the sexiest footballer. I know we're losing Riyad Mahrez from the Prem. He's going to Saudi Arabia. He was like that kind of player, like Dimitar Berbatov was that kind of player, Ruud van Nistelrooy. The kind of players that just swag around the pitch. Ronaldinho, like you could, a ball be
They're
like
luxury-
5
they're
miles in
luxury
the
players,
air
aren't
they?
and they
Yeah.
just pluck it dead.
They're luxury players.
Dennis Bergkamp's one of those players. He's just so technically gifted. His numbers in terms of goal scoring aren't that good, but 87 goals, 94 assists.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like
My guy's feeding Thierry Henry like no tomorrow.
he's actually number 7 on my list.
Oh, there you go. Talk
So
about it.
every time you've mentioned a player, we somehow segued
Yeah.
into my next number.
I
But
like it.
3 times Premier League winner
Got to respect it.
with Arsenal. That's hard.
No, don't disrespect us like that. No.
That's hard, man.
Hard as in good hard.
Yeah, like
Oh.
yeah, that's like
Yeah.
that.
That's
I
hard.
feel a bit like it's a challenge. You're dragging
Yeah,
this shit
not
team
like,
to the
not like-
title.
that's hard to do because they're fucking shite.
Well, you have been for like
Oh
you know,
yeah, for,
Yeah.
yeah.
for like the last decade.
But he
Yeah,
was,
not in his time though.
No,
Yeah,
but yeah, exactly. But that's what I mean. Like he's been the golden generation of Arsenal, and he's the talismanic sort of like
yeah, 100%.
yeah, iconic player, iconic.
He is one of those players like you talk about Drogba as like defenders don't want to come up against him because defenders feel that about Dennis Bergkamp because whereas like Drogba would like bully them, Dennis Bergkamp would just embarrass them. Like technically, no one's like
no
near
one on any of our lists is going to come close to Dennis Bergkamp in terms of technical
pure
ability.
tech. Yeah, He's different.
He was an absolute technician on the
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
he's compilation machine.
Mm.
And he came into Arsenal at like quite a hard time, where they were in transition.
Yeah, he came like he was just as we were getting Wenger, and everyone was like,
Bruce Rioch left, didn't he?
everyone was like, "Oh, we're hiring this unknown guy from the Chinese league, like who's blah blah blah." Dennis Bergkamp was one of the earliest signings, and they were like, "Oh, what are they building at Arsenal?" And then it exploded, and we were
Yeah,
fucking sick.
exactly. I knew you were unstoppable. But yeah, so Dennis Bergkamp, number 7 on my list, and deservedly so.
I'll just follow on quickly. Bergkamp is number 7 of mine as well.
Oh,
for
there you go.
Same reasons listed.
Bergkamp is proof it's not all about output.
Yeah, I did have to Google what position he really played though. Because
Yeah, well,
he was like
that's-
secondary striker, a little bit out wide. I was
That's
like,
why my number 7 is probably just ahead of Dennis Bergkamp. But if I was to pick a player that I'd want in my like, if we were talking about teams that just make me feel good,
yeah,
I'd have Dennis Bergkamp over this guy. But top 10 strikers, I think this guy's better than Bergkamp. Is Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Ooh,
Fair
very
enough.
I was saying like in terms
as
of
a striker with output.
in terms of goals, Van Nistelrooy's a better guy, and that's why he's a little bit higher in mine.
Yeah,
But
it's
they're
always
kind
hard.
of
It's hard.
Similar-ish.
It's hard creating a list like this because the parameters change when you think about certain players. Like you say, Dennis Bergkamp, not all about his goal scoring output. It's about what else he brought to the team in terms of he was still a striker.
Yeah.
But a different kind of striker. Like I don't think no one's got Bobby Firmino on the list.
No.
God, no.
But no one else could have done what he done at that time.
Yeah, if we had a Liverpool fan here, he'd probably be in their list.
Yeah, I thought about putting
I
him
would have
as my
slapped you if you put Bobby Firmino in this list. Bruh, that would have been disgraceful.
I would have
behaviour.
liked it though.
Don't you have
just
Harry
for-
Kane at number 8?
That's mad.
Yeah,
you know,
but
that could
Harry
be the
Kane's
hot-
much better.
That could be the
This has
hottest
made
take
the
of the whole
list.
video, you know.
Absolutely fucking not.
Right,
Get
your
out.
number 7, Tom.
You said it.
No, didn't. We did number 8, didn't we?
He said Bergkamp's number 7.
Yeah, Bergkamp.
Oh,
7.
what? We're on number 6 already?
We're number 6
Yeah,
on
mate.
my...
We're hotting
Gosh,
up,
mate.
hotting up. Top 6.
My number 6, it already been spoken about, Robin van Persie.
Okay, nice. We'll move on to your number 6, Luke.
My number 6, who... It's definitely a player who could be higher on the list.
Okay.
And he's probably the greatest England player ever. Wayne Rooney is my number 6 on my list.
I can already tell you, he is so much higher on my list.
He's higher on my list.
And do you know what though? It's like
What? Explain to the people, the fine people, the 200 plus people that we now have watching this fantastic podcast, the best
This is-
podcast on the market.
I've said this like 4 times already. Yeah, every time I was picking a player, the parameters for why I picked the player and put them on my list at that number changed.
Hot take: you having Rooney at 6th is a worse take than Tom having Harry Kane at 8th.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna put that out to the people.
Because
after.
he won everything.
I'm gonna put that out to the people after.
Yeah, I probably could have had him higher on my list.
You're regretting
to be
it
honest.
now.
To be
Because
honest,
of the absolute.
but I
heaters that
look
you're getting.
at the rest of my list, and I think
You're not allowed to backtrack now, Luke.
no, I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm gonna back it. I'm gonna back it.
Good boy.
100%. The fact he's not even in my top 5 is mad.
That's
And
that is bad.
I can't fathom who's got in there before him.
Yeah.
But for me, Rooney was unbelievable.
Best player in the Prem for.
Oh, 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
He was easy. 5-time Premier League winner, 5-time Player of the Month, 1-time Player of the Season winner, 491 appearances, 208 goals, and 103 appearanrances. The man had. Sorry, yeah, 103 assists.
Yeah.
The man had it all. He's the best English player ever.
I saw a tweet about him. Where, do you know, like the first game where he had his debut, scored against Arsenal, and he was 16. And looking back at that video,
against Seaman.
yeah, and then looking back at that video, how like fucking huge he is as a
Yeah.
16-year-old. He's built like a 40-year-old man at 16.
He was a freak of nature, wasn't he?
And I saw the caption was just like, has anyone thought about why Rooney is built so weird at 16 years old? I was like, at 16, I was genuinely like a little twig boy.
Mate,
He actually looked like a bald old man.
He
at
looked like
16.
the offspring of Shrek, though.
Yeah, it is
My guy
crazy.
was like a quarter ogre.
I was like, how is he so huge at 16?
yeah,
He's a freak of nature, like you said, yeah.
like the fact that you can score over 200 goals in the Premier League, over 100 assists. He's Man United's all-time top scorer. He was an unbelievable player.
Top goal scorer for what I think the general footballing populace
Probably-
think is the biggest club in the world.
Yeah.
So to be the top goal scorer for the biggest club in the world,
And be 6th in my
and
list.
6th in Luke's list,
It's mental.
Jesus.
Right, I don't know.
Luke's had a mare here. Tom, who's your number 6?
Did I not already say?
I don't know.
No,
maybe.
you did.
Who's
Yeah,
your-
RVP.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Oh, okay. And this isn't as bad a take as yours. I've got Harry Kane at 6th.
I'm happy he's not in the top 5.
Ah, thanks, Tom. Yeah. So I think my thinking is kind of in line with yours that he hasn't won enough for me to be in that top 5 conversation. But he's closer to the top 5 conversation because of his sheer numbers.
How many goals has he got?
213.
So how many is behind Shearer? He's not.
And Shearer's about 260.
260.
So yeah, he's about 2 seasons worth of goals.
So if you take like trophies and everything out here, who is out of Rooney and Kane? We'll create a little debate here.
Yeah.
Who's the better finisher?
Kane.
Kane, yeah.
Who's the better playmaker?
Kane.
It's close, isn't it?
Probably.
But
I'm
who's the
going-
better
I'm
all-round
going
player?
Rooney.
Rooney.
Rooney's better
Yeah.
playmaker. I
Rooney
think
has
he's a
those
workhorse.
indescribable qualities that makes him. He was so different, wasn't he? Rooney was a world beater. Like Rooney, you could put him into any team, and on his day, he could beat any team. Like you could put Rooney in like I don't know, like Reading's team, and play. He could play. I don't know against.
Does Harry Kane go missing more? And then you've got to add in the factor that Rooney has played in an infinitely better team.
In the most
where
dominant
that
United
team was the only dominant team, whereas Harry Kane's played at a shit team where not only is the team shit, but all the other teams around him are so much better.
So much better.
So
Harry Kane dropped 31 goals.
Maybe we're doing Harry Kane dirty, you know.
That's what I'm saying. But Harry, I agree with you 100%. Rooney is the better player. Like if I could go now and have.
Is he though?
You're saying to me, can I have Harry Kane at 16 and have him until he's 33, or have Rooney at 16 and have him until he's 33 in my team? I'm having Rooney.
Wasn't Rooney retired at like 30 though?
Well, yeah, but he probably done more in those years.
Yeah,
like,
one more trophy.
Rooney is a man who will win you trophies single-handedly.
We've seen Harry Kane go missing in finals.
100%.
You would never see Rooney go missing in a final.
But it's like an almost indescribable quality which makes Rooney different.
Hungry. That's why he was so big at 16.
He's got the dog in him.
He's been hungry.
He's got the dog in
born.
him, mate.
Come on.
But it's an interesting debate to have. Let us know down below, who would you rather have in your team at their peak, Wayne Rooney or Harry Kane?
And whose take was worse, Harry Kane at 8th or Wayne Rooney at 6th?
Let us know down below. We're going to take a little break. It's half time, and we'll be back at you in a minute with our top 5. Hello, guys. Welcome back. And we are here with the second part of our top 10 Premier League strikers of all time. We had some absolute howlers or some great takes, depending on your opinions in the first half.
He's had the only howler, really.
Harry Kane 8th. We discussed it already. Hopefully, let some comments down below. Let us know. But Tom, take it away with your number 5. This week it's juicy.
Number 5, the one, the only, Aguero.
Put it there, Tom. He's my number 5 as well.
Yeah. I was about to scream in there.
Aguero!
Yeah.
Oh, it's my number 5 as well!
Come on!
Let's
The
go.
boys! Let's go.
The boy, promise you that wasn't actually planned. We
don't
have
even
these.
know each other's
Yeah,
lists.
we
We
have all
left
these
it.
lists kind of secret, so we'd be surprised.
Yeah, we left it all
Aguero
there.
at number 5. What does that? That all of us have got him at number 5. What does that tell you? Point evidence. Do you remember in school where you have to do point evidence explain?
Yeah, PE.
So the point is, Aguero number 5 for everyone.
Yeah.
Best goals
evidence-
per game in the Premier League?
Does he?
I think of anyone on our list he does. I think Henri's like second.
Yeah, of like you've got
I think
people
he's
that
passed
have
a certain amount of goals.
You've got
Yeah.
people that have like had 5 appearances and scored 5 goals and then never played again.
Yeah.
But why is he not higher for us? And or
4
lower?
times Premier League winner. I think probably 5 times. This
4 times.
the stats I've got here says active 2011 to present. So I know.
Yeah.
He is still playing. But yeah, no, he's not.
Nah, he's retired.
Yeah, the heart condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays in that PK league.
Yeah, the
The
All-Star
PK League goes
thing.
hard.
But
yeah. Yeah, 4-time Premier League winner, 271 appearances, 181 goals, 46 assists for Man City at they're still in their golden period, aren't they? It hasn't really stopped since he left. But
why is he not higher?
the players. The
High.
problem is he was in such a good team.
Yeah.
Like that's almost my.
He was so good for so long and so consistent, but he didn't hit the heights of, say, my number 3 pick.
No, the problem is though he individually was probably as good as anyone I've got on my list.
I think he's so good, but I don't know the stats. I don't think he ever got past I don't think he ever got near 30 goals.
No.
I think it was always like 21, 22, 23
The problem is,
goals.
I think
He'd always
for me,
have an injury in the season.
That's what I
he
was
struggled with injury, didn't he?
Injured
quite
a lot. Yeah, which is
And
why
so like
never...
he was in teams where he was getting rotated with Tevez, Balotelli, Dzeko. You know what I mean?
Jovetic. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was there for a weird amalgamation of City players. He probably saw the Robinho era into like
Yeah, he was there for Mancini. Was he there for Mancini? He was there for Mancini, there for Pellegrini, there for Pep.
So
I feel like he was their first big signing.
And as Pep says,
after Robinho, but I don't really count that.
He cannot be replaced.
Unless you sign Haaland for £200 trillion.
But I don't think there's a player whose name probably strikes as much fear into the hearts.
QPR fans.
Nah, man, I was all about it. We were staying
that's like written your name in folklore, hasn't it?
But at least it didn't cost Did it cost you anything? You didn't get
No, we
relegated.
stayed up.
Yeah, so it's fair
We were
game.
safe.
You cost United the title.
Man United
Brilliant.
fans think it's.
Yeah.
I've seen conspiracy theories saying that Man City paid us off, and that from kickoff we decided to just like give the ball away.
Yeah.
We were just bad.
Yeah. Allow us.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to talk about him in this way because when you watched him play, you were like he was a safe. I put a bet on him to score at any time. Like he was just that good. I think, like you say, injuries. Without injuries, he'd probably be higher up on the list.
I think for me that plus the fact that it's not a dig at him that he's not higher. It's just testament to the 4 people above on our list.
100%. And
that they are, and maybe not even 4th, but like top 2 or 3
I mean,
are like different levels.
my top 4 are by far the biggest names in their teams at their time.
Yeah.
100%. And
Yeah.
Aguero, he had the likes of David Silva for you.
David Silva, like Kevin De Bruyne coming in. You had Company.
Vincent Kompany, Johnny Lescott, Mika Richards.
Come on. So yeah, it's one
Gael
of those.
Clichy.
Yeah,
But
just a fuck ton of Arsenal players. Emmanuel Adebayor. But number 4.
Is he number 1 on your list? Adebayor.
Yeah. Number 4. I feel like we might all have this guy because he hasn't come up yet, and I feel like he's gonna have to come up soon.
Give us a hint.
He
Does he have big chompers?
he's got chompers. He's slightly a fucked cunt. Like
You're trying to be delicate with that
yeah,
one as well.
I was trying to be like, how do you describe a big fat racist?
But he was good at football.
But he's very good at football and a generational striker. I've got Luis Suarez at 4th place.
Yeah. Luis Suarez is my number 4 as well.
I can't agree with that.
Okay, who have you? Let's talk about Luis Suarez.
Luis Suarez, for me, he's got the most assists in the history of football, right? Or is Messi overtaking him?
Second most.
Yeah,
Second
Messi
to
will have the most. Yeah.
So yeah, just like a crazy player.
I think in the Prem,
I think Norwich have like they probably still fear him.
Yeah.
I just remember a little
in
play
the Prem,
Norwich.
I don't know if he was there long enough that maybe he doesn't warrant being as high on the list.
He wasn't there long enough.
He was. I think he was there.
110
in the Prem.
appearances.
Yeah, I was going to say 3 seasons, which is about 110. So maybe we've got him too high for a Prem all-timer.
No.
But all-time strikers, he is.
Because let me come in. I'm just going
Tom's got him
to
at
skip.
second.
No, I don't. I would want to have him at
Yeah.
second, but history buffs are going to kill me if I didn't put certain somebody second.
We hate history buffs.
But yeah, so basically, I think he unequivocally had the greatest season in the history of Premier League football.
What, 31 goals?
31 goals, missing the first 5 games, never taking a single penalty.
Because of his racism.
Yeah.
We're talking
yeah,
about
no,
abilities here.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you saw the
great
quality
striker of our generation.
You saw greatest striker of our generation. Is that what you just said?
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
I'll back it, to
Yeah.
be fair.
Is he better than like
Benzi, yeah.
Benz?
Benzi and
He's better
Lewandowski
than
are nowhere
Lewandowski.
near the
He's
conversation.
better than Benzema and Lewandowski, and you don't include Ronaldo and Messi in that conversation.
Yeah.
So I probably do agree,
I think he's miles better than all of them.
Yeah.
Probably not miles better.
Benzema, one of the most... No, it's not one of the
Oh,
most
he was going
overrated.
to say one of the most overrated players.
No, but like, he's
44K.
he's overhyped. He's
Jeez.
overhyped. My guy had one great season after Ronaldo left and then moved off to Saudi.
Yeah, but he was good for the years.
Yeah, no, he was...
He wasn't just in that Real
No,
Madrid team for no
he
reason.
was very good. He was very, very good, but he was never the best.
But how can you shine in a team with arguably the best player of all time, if not?
Yeah, but like
And Gaza Bale as
Ronaldo,
well.
but they're
Gaza
playing
Bale.
different positions.
And every year he's fighting for his place because he knows they can just go out and sign whoever they want. He must have been good because no one has that many Champions Leagues and it isn't good.
It's a team
He
sport.
has won a Ballon d'Or as well.
Yeah.
Like one of your main
How many Ballon
points.
d'Ors is Suarez won?
One of your main points.
Got him.
One of your main points against Aguero was that he was surrounded by good players, but he was still the best player at the time he was playing football. Benzema was surrounded by great players and was never the best player at the time he was
But
playing
Suarez's
football.
best seasons where he was playing as part of the MSN lineup.
He had
He's spitting.
So he had the best season in Premier League football,
Was
in
he
my
saying, like-
opinion. And then he moved to Barcelona and got even better.
I'm not arguing with him. I think he is a phenomenal player.
To be fair, I think he's better than Benzema and Lewandowski.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
I'd rather have Suarez in my team.
And Lewandowski's also better than Benzema by a decent chunk.
Ooh.
I think
that's
it's
a debate for another day.
It's so situational though, because like if you're Barcelona and you're playing like with a false nine,
Did you have Suarez at fourth?
I did.
I had Suarez at fourth.
He's 3 for me.
Okay, who's your fourth?
Rooney, we've already spoke about.
We've already spoke about. Let's do top three.
Who's better, Suarez or Rooney?
Ooh,
Suarez.
I'm not even in a shot.
Have you not just all put Suarez above Rooney?
Yeah.
Suarez, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're talking all-time players.
He's probably like in the top.
Now I've got Rooney at third. No, I think Rooney's better as a player than Suarez.
Suarez.
You were just having the conversation. Who would you rather have in your team at their peak?
Rooney.
I'd have Rooney at his peak over Suarez at his peak.
Potentially because of like teething issues with Suarez.
In the actual sense.
Literally.
Yeah, literally got
But
those horse
Suarez
choppers.
is the third best player of our generation.
Oh, that's a convo.
No, but you know,
I think he cleans
I really think he's close.
I think he cleans the floor with Benzi and Lewandowski. Rooney is a debate.
You can debate other positions. You can debate a Rooney. You can't debate a Neymar for me. You can debate.
Rooney
You
is a
could debate like a
debate,
KDB or something.
And
but-
it's like, we're not even talking about who would you rather have at striker, because at striker, you'd rather have Suarez.
Yeah.
Like, anywhere else on the pitch, you'd rather have Rooney.
100%, yeah.
But I think the question
this.
that makes it tighter is, at their prime, you've got an empty team. At their prime, you can have one of those two.
Yeah.
Who would you take? Because that's a close debate.
You have
And for me, it's
an
Rooney.
11 with the best players in the world. Yeah, so you can have like Messi, Ronaldo, like whoever you want.
Yeah, you can surround these two dogs with whoever you
Xavi,
want.
Iniesta.
But
If I can dream pick everyone, it's Suarez without a doubt.
nah, for me, I think it's prime Rooney.
I think prime Rooney. He's different.
But, where will you play in prime Rooney in that position? You play him as a striker, or you playing him?
Probably,
more
I'd have
creative.
like what Dennis Bergkamp was to Thierry Henry.
See, the problem is,
I'd
though,
have Rooney to like a fucking.
I'm saying
Thierry
I'll
Henry.
take Rooney,
Players
but
from different
I've got
leagues.
Suarez higher on my list because my parameter for putting Suarez higher is that he had a better career. He done, you know.
Oh, it's getting juicy
Getting
up
tasty.
in here. Right,
Yeah.
so I said I had Rooney in third place. Let's hear your top three. Oh, not top three, your third place.
Oh, it's my go.
I'm fucking
Yeah.
someone's got to.
Have you not gone, Tom?
I said Suarez. This was started it.
Oh yes, my number 3.
Oh.
Aguero.
Mr. Alan Shearer.
Ah, I was like,
Mr. Alan Shearer.
Okay. Okay.
The pedigree of player I put above him is incredible. Having him third or second was maybe the hardest debate I had.
Ever in your life.
But the player I've gone for second, he's got time to do it, and I think we know who it is. But
Oh my god.
let's talk about Shearer for a minute.
Have you
Let's
just
talk about
realised who
Shearer.
he's got second?
Yes.
He's got time to do it. I mean,
Yes.
he's about.
Let's have.
He's talking about Callum Wilson. No, I'm joking, but we know who that is. But we'll discuss that in a minute. Yeah,
He joked to me earlier if anyone's got him, and I was like, no, don't be silly.
right. Alan Shearer. So I've got him second.
Premier League winner with his boy.
Tom is fuming. Tom's head's gone.
If he's in your list, how is Harry Kane not above him? Because you were gassed up Harry Kane.
Wait, Tom's head is absolutely
continue.
gone.
I'm having a hot flush.
Right. So talk to me about
Premier
Alan
League
Shearer.
record all-time goal scorer.
260 goals.
Maybe not for long. Maybe not for
Yeah,
long.
260 goals.
404 win appearances, 260 goals, 64 assists.
Led a
Blackburn.
a mediocre Blackburn team to the
Yeah,
Premier
he's like
League.
boyhood club.
Yeah.
He's probably the most iconic
Is his
Newcastle
boyhood-
player of all
boy-
time.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about Blackburn as his boyhood club.
Yeah.
No, isn't his boyhood club Newcastle?
No, I don't know.
Mm.
Don't know.
Oh well, yeah. Well, he's the club that gave him a chance. Then took him to the Premier League.
Take a chance on me.
Thought you guys had ball knowledge.
Mm.
He's pretty much before our time, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's been legendary throughout our lifetimes. Everyone, you listen to people who have much experience watching him
Yeah.
back in the day, and they'll tell you he could hit it from 30 yards, or he'd be in and around 6-yard box. He was
Yeah.
undefendable. He was the first prolific striker.
he was probably like Wayne Rooney, but with better finishing.
yeah.
Because he was like tenacious, get about the pitch.
But he wasn't
hungry.
He wasn't the biggest lad, but he would get his head on everything.
Yeah.
He was a raw uncontrolled striker who could do everything. And yeah, he's the Premier League all-time top scorer for
And
a
I think
reason.
he'd be first in everyone's conversation, unless the guy that we probably all got unanimously at number 1 didn't arrive in the Prem. But we'll talk about him in a minute. So
he wouldn't be first on my list.
Alan Shearer.
He wouldn't be first on my list. I've got him third, don't I?
No.
Yeah, he's my third point choice.
No, I'm saying the guy that we've all got first.
Oh.
Is the same, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but Shearer's not even second on my list.
Yeah, no, that's true. So, Alan Shearer at third. I had Wazza at third. Have we done your third? This is a mess.
I had Suarez at third.
Okay,
from
cool.
the previous debate.
Right. Who's your second, Tom?
Again, Shearer, like you just mentioned.
I'll do mine then. Mine is also Shearer.
I never watched him play a single minute of football outside Match of the Day highlights when it was like his birthday or
He's
something.
talking about when he's a pundit.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, I think we can all just agree that Alan Shearer is top 3 just for sheer numbers and what he brought to the Prem at a time.
And the fact that he
was
holds
the leading guy,
all-time top Premier League scorer, the top scorer in the best league in the world, must have some merit to it.
Luke, come in. I'm going to give you the mic now. You've got to explain to these people how, in the top 10 Premier League strikers of all time, you've got Harry Kane at number 2.
He thought I was talking about Haaland.
I did actually.
Did you?
I thought you put him in at number 6 or something.
No, I had him at number 6.
Harry Kane
fuck.
is my second top Premier League striker of all time.
What do you reckon's a worse shout if you had Haaland or Harry Kane at second?
Haaland.
Yeah.
I mean, Haaland's good. If we do this in 2 years' time,
Probably.
he's probably going to be number 1.
So, why is Harry Kane second place?
I don't think there's been a more complete striker who's put up the numbers as Harry Kane. Suarez is probably a more complete striker, didn't get near the numbers. If Suarez had the longevity of Harry Kane in the Premier League, he'd be higher on my list. Harry Kane's dedicated his life to playing for a terrible team, and he's still doing it. He is still doing it.
Because that that Pochettino team that Harry Kane was in that got to Champions League final and got second in the Prem, or third in the Prem, second in the Prem, is probably comparable to Brendan Rodgers'
Liverpool with Suarez. Yeah.
And
who went further?
That's a question.
I think that Tottenham team were better.
I
don't know.
I disagree. But
Also,
yeah, that is a debate, isn't it?
I think they had a better manager. I've never really rated Rodgers that high.
Tasty.
But for me,
talk.
Harry Kane, he's on course to break Shearer's record, which has stood for a bloody long time.
I think he's gone this summer, but that's a debate for another time.
Well, that will. This
Time
could
will
be
tell.
outdated within a few hours.
It could be worse than our Fabregas
Fabrizio on the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, he at the minute anyway is the most complete striker in the Premier League, probably in world football.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a player there's a striker who can have the output of him and have the playmaking ability out of it.
I agree, yeah.
And in this time and this generation, tactically, you need a striker who can do everything. You've long gone are the days where you need a striker who can be a target man or just be a poacher in the box. You have to be able to do everything. Harry Kane has single-handedly dragged Tottenham this season to, a 6th place finish? 8th place finish.
Drag them all the way up to 8.
Because without him, they would have been in relegation
Yeah,
zone.
yeah,
He was outstanding this season. We had this argument before. Potentially had a better season than Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
I think he did.
I think we had this debate and we were saying if Haaland didn't win the treble, then Harry Kane would have had a better season. But Haaland has contributed in a way that's led them to win the treble.
Oh, yeah.
So Haaland's had a better season.
But for me, Harry Kane, if he stays, he's gonna break Shearer's record. And I don't think anyone could have got near it in the team at Tottenham, playing for Tottenham in that period of time.
Yeah, that team's stinking.
If you took like Thierry Henry in his prime, probably could have done it.
Don't mention my... No, yeah, fair enough.
But you know what I mean? But if you took Luis Suarez and put him in that Tottenham team...
Probably could have done it, to be fair.
Luis Suarez, the man who dragged a dog shit Liverpool team to within inches of the title. If it wasn't for Steven Gerrard slipping, they would have won it.
Tom spitting.
That is such a bad show.
I'm putting it out for a debate. But for me, Harry Kane is maybe the most complete striker of all time.
I'd say so. What? So what we're seeing...
his playmaking ability is unbelievable, and he's a better finisher than Suarez.
So, out of the list, Harry Kane is the player that we've got the biggest disparity in terms of where he sits on
He's
all
got
our
him
lists.
eighth.
Eighth, sixth, second. And that could be two Arsenal fans kind of disrespecting him. I don't know what that is,
I
but
thought if he'd won 2 titles, he'd be my top.
he'd be top one or
It'd
two.
be 3 or 4 for me.
Oh, 3 or 4. I think if he wins a Prem,
If he wins a title
Anyhow-
with Spurs,
anyhow, he's top 1, 2.
Yeah, to be fair, if he say if he stayed a season with Spurs, won 1 title, then he'd leapfrog Shearer in my books.
Yeah, I think he'd lick for a chair in mine.
And then by that logic, he's also leapfrog Suarez, so then he is 2.
2.
So fair enough.
And he'd be right behind the guy that we've all got a number 1. My guy.
Monsieur.
The guy. Thierry Henry.
yeah, he unplayable. No one gets close to him. He can probably still do it now.
I don't want to hear Chelsea fans being like, oh, I've seen Thierry Henry go mission in finals, Drogba's better. Drogba is fucking a pipsqueak in comparison to what Thierry Henry does on the pitch. Thierry Henry is just so good at every single thing to do with football.
You could play him anywhere, sort of on the pitch. And I think you dominate
any
his
defender.
tools.
He's like, I'm embarrassing you. Fucking that game against Real Madrid in Champions League where we're trying to time waste, and he dinks it over one defender, takes it to the corner flag, has another defender there, shrugs him off, and then that defender kicks it out, and we win a throw, and he's just there like, and he's just so good. And like, we were talking about Drogba being like a defender's worst nightmare. This guy, his pace, he's technically probably one of the best players the Prem's ever seen. Skillful, finishing is crazy. And I don't like players, like I was talking about Drogba, he probably like thrived off of like park the bus football.
Yeah.
I don't like players that can't play in sexy teams. And I'm not saying Drogba can't. We never saw Drogba in a team that
Well,
played
you're going for Drogba
sexy
quite hard,
football. I'm going for Chelsea fans that put him in the conversation with Henry because it's disrespect.
Henry's a top 10 player. Of all
And we've
time.
never seen Drogba like do it in like a sexy football team. But Thierry at Arsenal were playing the sexiest football. Then he went to Barca playing the sexiest football. You get ratings if you can play in a team that plays sexy football, and he can, and he's that guy.
Also very unselfish, which I think is a very
Good assist
good
numbers.
attribute for like a striker like that.
Prem numbers up. 175 goals, 74 assists.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is nice.
In appearances,
Yeah, not even a lot. I think 280,
256.
256. There you go.
So 258. Yeah, he was unbelievable player.
People talk about generational.
Maybe-
He's generational.
Maybe
Oh, yeah.
apart from Lionel Messi, maybe the most undefendable player. He probably got more. Ronaldo. This is maybe a debate, but who like in their prime was like hardest to defend against? And I might say Henry, but Ronaldo was.
I
don't know.
They United Ronaldo before he busted up his knee. My guy was just chopping everywhere on the field. Like,
Yeah,
no
but
one's
Henry
getting close
was
to him.
like Ronaldo was like it was sexy football, but sometimes it would just be like a chop inside to stop and hold the ball.
Yeah.
Henry would look at a man and go,
Yeah, I'm
I'm going to make you go home to your
Who's
wife.
that commentator, the pundit? Alan Hutton.
Oh yeah.
And it's like Alan Hutton has nightmares about Thierry Henry because all the clips of Thierry Henry would literally like have Alan Hutton behind him and like scoop it over his head, and he's just like ruined this guy's
What would happen if Prime Henry came up against Trent last season?
embarrass his life. Like he'd make Trent look like a League 2 defender.
Genuinely, Thierry Henry.
If Trent got caught 1-on-1 against Thierry Henry,
He'd retire him.
mate, and especially back then, there wasn't like compilation merchants and football Twitter. Now, oh my god, Trent would be roasted. He'd have to lock his
It'd
Instagram.
be on suicide watch.
He'd have to lock his Instagram, Twitter on private, mute Thierry Henry.
He's gone on a sabbatical for like 2 years. Go Turkey.
Yeah.
Me, it'd be a roasting, and that's not even a slight on Trent. That's a lot of fullbacks these days, especially now that fullbacks are more attacking. Thierry Henry, do you see like in the Champions League final where Jack Grealish asked Thierry if he would have a field day against Kyle Walker,
Yeah.
and Thierry was like, yeah. And
Every day.
Kyle Walker's like, And I think as good as Kyle Walker is, Thierry'd still fuck him up.
Yeah, I think Thierry was borderline undefendable.
Yeah.
And that's why he is number one for all of us in our list. Roz, Do you want to give us your top 10?
In order.
In order.
Yeah, I'll run you through just for the vibes. So, in 10th place, Robin Van Persie. Fuck that guy. 9th place, Didier Drogba. Fuck that guy. 8th place, Dennis Bergkamp. Love that guy. 7th place, Rue Van Nistelrooy. Fuck that guy. 6th place, Harry Kane. Probably fuck that guy. 5th place, Sergio Aguero. Decent guy. Luis Suarez in 4th. Wayne Rooney in 3rd. Alan Shearer in 2nd. And then my boy, Thierry Henry in 1st.
Tom?
It was Big Drogba in 10, Van Nistelrooy in 9, Harry Kane in 8, and I'm not changing my mind about that.
Harry Kane in 8, that is talking point on that one.
Bergkamp at 7, Robin Van Persie at 6, Aguero 5, Rooney 4, Suarez 3, Shearer 2, and Big TT number 1.
We love big TTs.
And for me, I've got Les Ferdinand number 10 by Shoehorn. Number 9, Robin Van Persie. Number 8, Didier Drogba. 7, Dennis Bergkamp. 6, Rooney, which is contentious. 5, Aguero. I've got Suarez at 4th. Shearer at 3rd. 2nd place, Harry Kane.
Tottenham fans will love you for that one.
Ooh. And number 1, Thierry Henry.
In the comments, vote who's got the most accurate list, by the way.
This guy over here.
Roz,
Mr. Ball Knowledge.
Tom,
himself.
or him.
This fucking guy over there. But yeah, thanks for all the subs recently. The numbers have been looking kind of crazy recently.
Yeah, no, we've been really enjoying putting out all the content for you guys. I think we've literally got another 16 teams to go.
Yeah, we've done
in
about
our Premier League previews.
5 or 6.
Oh yeah, 15, 16 teams to
So
go.
we've got a lot of teams left. I hope you're enjoying the previews.
Make sure you're subscribed because that way you're gonna get notified every time you get a little bit of an upload from us. And we're covering all the rest of the Premier League teams up until the beginning of the season. And we've got some big stuff on the way.
Season's coming soon.
Season's coming thick and fast. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well because we upload every day at the minute. But when the season comes, we'll go back to our sort of a regular schedule. But you don't want to miss a beat because it's all good stuff. It's all good stuff.
Big thanks to Tom every single time.
Yeah,
No worries.
congratulations on the hat trick.
It's been a pleasure
That probably
to be
puts
here.
you at the number 1 Premier League player of all time, no?
I wish. Second only to Suarez.
Come.
Thank you very much for watching, guys. It's been BoreDraw. Make sure to hit that like button. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know if we should ever have Tom back on again. BoreDraw, and it's live.